Hey up everyone, what's going on and welcome back to York City, where today is a very special day indeed. We celebrate the life and times of one individual who was crucial to our journey up the leagues. And that man, of course, is CALLUM NICELL. Weird saying man, considering he was an 18-year-old when he joined. But yes, it's finally his testimonial day. So the day is finally here. We get to celebrate CALLUM NICELL, and celebrate we shall. What a human being he was for us, or technically still is, but was, let's be real. He is contracted at the end of this year. I let my director of football do that renewal. He got him on £8,500 a week, which is irritatingly better than I did. I then let the director of football do 3 more renewals, and he cocked all 3 of those up, so never mind. But we're not talking about those players. Hello, Kovalev, who's now on like 40 grand a week or something. We signed CALLUM NICELL at the very, very beginning of this journey. He was literally the first face I saw in my transfer inbox. Offered to me, looked at him, I said, yes please, signed him as a star player, and star player he was. Look at those average ratings. Just look at them. Look at them. Look at them, and then wonder if you've ever had anyone who's done that for you, because I never have, before now. Not with that level of consistency. Through that many leagues, is probably the crucial point. It's like Ivan Seri have put in those kind of numbers, but that they're only in the Premier League. CALLUM NICELL did it in the 6th tier and the 2nd tier. Twice. He even improved on the rating that you get when you come on the pitch in the Premier League appearance that he made. Pretty certain you come on a 6.6 or a 6.7. He ended that match on a 6.8, so whatever he did in that limited time, he did well. Weirdly, didn't do quite as well at Bristol Rovers or Sligo Rovers. Not sure what's going on there. I really thought those loan things had actually buggered the testimonial, but he's got one, we're fine, everything's fine. And with the testimonial, of course, we get returning players. So there is his testimonial news article, let's say. The ex-York players coming back are Hugh King, Victor Schott, Sergio Dutra, Wilson Gonçalves, and Enrique Jesus Alonso. Yeah, so some surprising names in there, and some very, very lovely ones. It has to be said. Sergio Dutra probably the fondest of them, the one who played the longest alongside him, arguably. Wilson Gonçalves joined a year later than Dutra, pretty certain. He joined in the Championship. Actually, Jesus Alonso, I'm fairly certain, joined in League One as well as Dutra. I think I may have signed him earlier, but he turned 18 when we got to the Championship and we signed him for 160k. So fair enough. Sort of a rotation player, never performed. Never performed. Did really well, actually, at Young Boys on loan. Got a 7 there, and 6.9s in the following 2 years at Augsburg. He's done all right over there. Never really played for me, though, that well. He was promising, though, the very, very beginning. I think that's pretty much when I got him. Almost as soon as he genned in, when he was on my radar. This isn't about him, though. Wilson's back. Wilson is back. We do love Wilson, of course. We sold him to Newcastle, but he had 2 very solid years, and then 2 50-50 years where he didn't play quite as much. We sort of started rotating with Lentas, and then we sort of almost started abandoning the position altogether. I'm not sure if that happened then, because we sold him in January in that year. So Victor Schott was a beneficiary of our loan agreement with Liverpool as a junior affiliate to them for many years. We had him twice in a row in the Championship for nothing a week. And he pretty much banged in a goal every other game, there or thereabouts. Did even better in the 2nd year, 29 in 42 for that season. And actually, 31 in 45 in total, 7.26. Weirdly low average rating for that kind of return. Hugh King exists. I will never quite understand Hugh King, because technically he's quite good. Like, to me, that screams Championship player, maybe low-end Premier League, he would be acceptable at. And for some reason, he's just in the Scottish leagues right now. He's doing quite well over there, in fairness. He just never quite had the return rate we were hoping, although 10 in 28 and 6 in 15 isn't bad. But then when we loaned him out, you kind of saw his true colours over the course of a season. Bizarre. And of course, Dutra, we know well enough not to really go into too much detail. Still very good. And doing quite well for Barcelona too, so I'm pleased for him. You may have seen there that our opponents are Milan. 2 reasons. Number 1, my first choice, Leeds, we play in the first game of the season. And reason number 2 is NICELL's not being part of our European journey, nor will he be. So I'm letting him have the chance to face off against our now European nemesis in AC Milan. Carpentier is injured, by the way, which is a massive problem for the start of the season. He's out for potentially 3 months. Hang on, what? Already involved in other match today? How is that possible? You've been here. Barcelona didn't have a match today. They had one on Sunday. The other night. Hang on, have the B team. Don't tell me the Barcelona B team have had a match today. No, they haven't had a match today either. What? What is this nonsense then? Well, never mind. So because we played the Community Shield a couple of days ago, some of our lads are a bit tired. We won it, by the way. 1-0, that's another bit of silverware to kick us off. Got our revenge on Arsenal. Cantoro got the goal, but he can't start today because he's a smidge tired. Bless him. Which means Godoy's going to have to fill in over there despite being not fully fit himself. Christian's going to be in goal. Saxton, Azarta, Parkinson backline despite being left-footed. Shalman, Grimes and Seri in the middle. Alonso exists, so he can start there. Vidal and Godoy and Gonzalez up front. You might be seeing this a little bit more often, by the way. Jonathan Gonzalez, 2 years on loan. He's apparently as good as Carpentier, which means that injury isn't quite as drastically problematic as it was before. Yeah, he's done well out there. He's got strong both feet as well, which I like. Nicell, by the way, will come on late on, I imagine. Not going to start him. The rest of them, actually. Hugh King's tired. I'm guessing he's played recently, and Gonçalves is injured, so I'm so glad they sent him. And 2 of them can't play. Literally, the only person who's functionally capable of playing this match is Alonso, really. He's not even that bad, on paper. I told them tonight is about Callum Nicell. Give him the match he deserves. He deserves the absolute best, which is why I've kept him around for 4 years and never played him. Oh, good God, they've signed Klunter at some point. After dealing with the Hertha Berlin challenge, I was really hoping I would never have to try and carefully work my way around that name ever again. I kind of presumed he would have retired by now. Anyway, Saxton, hang on, we're in 2D. This is a testimonial, you fools. Get it on TV. Alonso comes in, there's Seri. I mean, Alonso's played with quite a lot of these players over the years. It's not Donnarumma in goal. Yeah, Donnarumma's not in goal. I don't think they've even brought him, I seem to notice on the team sheet. But that's if he's still there. He may have been sold for all I know. Sorry, though. If he has been sold, I'm really hoping that's not his first choice goalkeeper for Milan these days, because that was pathetic. Morano, though. I'm not sure how many of these are first teamers. Zanelli definitely is. He's playing. On my radar, Cantoro, I feel like can be improved upon. Zanelli's not going to be the player because he doesn't like big matches. And I'm trying to avoid signing any players like that anymore because we're trying to win those big matches. The Champions League, pretty much 100% big matches, so we're trying to avoid getting any more of those on our side, leaving them as purely bench options at best. Going forward, Godoy's might get on the end of this. Opportunity to train him a little bit in that right-hand side. Vidal, empty space, misses massively. We've seen far too much of that, Vidal. But the players that played the Community Shield that I saw on this pitch, probably likely going to come off maybe half-time, maybe a little later, particularly if they're booked. Yeah, in terms of developing Godoy in that right-hand side as an optional spot, he's not going to be permanent like Carpentier. He's not sort of like the idea with Carpentier where his stat arrangement is more beneficial to that inside forward role, in my opinion. Godoy's is very much a striker role, but he's just so well-rounded he can probably do it, and he's left-footed. So having him as an option to play on the right-hand side, where Cantoro is, we have sold Christian Pulisic, it's worth mentioning that. He barely played last year, and Alonso's got a goal. Oh, bless. He's got a better strike rate in this testimonial than he ever did for us permanently. Bless. Assisted by Ivan Seri. Yeah, Enrique Alonso. Andorran. He is. Andorran. He's got to be Andorra's best player, I would imagine. I always forget he wasn't actually Spanish, because he actually came from FC Andorra, unsurprisingly as well. But he's actually Andorran as well. Lamy, I think Lamy's okay. I think he's a good player. He might be a starter. Obviously, the numbers today are a little bit off because it's a friendly match, I think, so everyone's just given arbitrary numbers. Xiaonan, though, coming forward in the number 2 shirt, which is really baffling. Neuer's 88. Actually, I'm trying to work out if anyone's got the same numbers. I don't think they do. Oh, Godoy scored, though. Godoy might be number 11 in real life. In the proper one, I'm not sure. I think he might be 19 or 20 or something like that, though. Pretty certain. Madeira was 11. I may have just spoiled something there by using Madeira in the past tense. Sorry. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about that one tomorrow. I will just say, Madeira is very much enjoying his new life on £175,000 somewhere. Godoy scored 2. We are obliterating AC Milan here. It's not their first team, I'm well aware, and they don't have Donnarumma. I'm just going to double check once this highlight's gone through. I'm just going to double check Donnarumma's situation. Is he injured? Is he been sold? What's gone on there? I doubt he's been sold. This is definitely not their first choice goalkeeper, though. Why couldn't we done this in the Champions League, by the way? I mean, he's not bad. Like, he's not terrible. One eccentricity actually makes that look worse than it is because you don't really want eccentricity. Bad first touch, bad rushing out. He's not a sweeper, but he's functional. I mean, you probably sign someone like that. Championship level? Punching tendency? Yeah, he's not a sweeper, but his actual goalkeeping stats are pretty good. No, they just didn't bring him. Rude. It is a different Klunter, by the way. He's German. He's pretty good and actually already slightly developed over there, but he is primarily finishing, so he is a striker rather than a winger, ideally, in my opinion. Yeah, Lamy's pretty good. I thought he was. Batonta in the back line, I think, is a starter. And John Max is obviously a starter. We know about him. They've got Odegaard, but I don't think he actually starts for them, normally. So I think forward-wise, they've not brought their best either. There's Sinelli, though, who is probably their best player. Outfield player, anyway. I'd probably actually argue Donnarumma is their best player. So I've sent them out again without making any changes. Obviously, they brought on Ilya, who is, Cypriot. Not very good, though. And a centre-back who is worse than the one they took off. They're actually weakening their side now, which is a bold strategy. Godoy would have got a hat-trick if he wasn't offside. He's celebrating. He's not realised. There we go. He's worked it out. Can speak English now, so that's not really anything his fault. Oh, well offside. Well offside if their defender wasn't actually involved in that, which I'd possibly argue he was. Right, Vidalson's coming off for Vidal. And who's tired? Zata, perhaps? We'll get Rick on and swap these lads over. Shaunan's booked, so Simpara can come on. You know who I would have loved to turn up? James Clark. He would have been a nice face to have seen around here. Admittedly, he wanted to come on in the 59th minute, but he would have been a fond face. Instead, we got Hugh King. Beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Any more changes now? We are 4-0 up. I am tempted to actually bring Callum Nicell on now, because it's 4-0. Nicell's coming on now. I was going to bring him on a lot later. How good is Binny, by the way? They just brought him on as a goalkeeper. He is incredibly well-rounded. I don't know if that technically makes him better or worse. I'm intrigued to know what rating Callum Nicell gets in this match against AC Milan's sort of team. Right, 75 minutes have gone. We've seen literally no highlights for Callum Nicell or anyone else. Godoy only available for a few minutes. 75. Cantore is on the bench, so he can come on. He's okay. He was just a little bit tired. Kovalev can come on for Baxter. Barwick can come on for Grimes, who isn't really a Mazzala anyway. Can we change our entire scene? Can we change everyone? As lovely as it would be to bring Wilson on, he is returning from injury, so I don't really want to make that worse for him. Capacetti can come in on goal as well. Why not? Ah, yeah. There's a name missing there as well. Tomorrow? Yeah, we basically just changed the entire side. We can get Courage on as well. Why not? I mean, Parkinson's booked, so whatever. I mean, if we're going to see no highlights while Callum Nicell is on the pitch, I'm going to be very mad. Here we are. Simpara. Capacetti. Capacetti is number 2 now. I'll just make that statement. Barwick. Doesn't get on the end of that. It's a highlight for them. This is a bit sad, really. They've not scored. Can we have a highlight that involves Nicell? Can he make a goal? Can he do something? 50 seconds to go. 50 seconds to go. I don't really feel like that shot was good enough for a highlight. Alonso's done an unnecessary swivel there. Vidarson. There goes Barwick, I think. And it's going to have to play again. Number 17 is Nicell. We'll keep an eye on him, see what he does in this highlight. He's over here, not really involved in anything. Ilya, 10 seconds to go. Maybe that was a highlight, the shot. It wasn't a particularly good shot, but it was a highlight nonetheless. Oh, well, that's a shame. 4-0 though. Now to send Nicell back on loan somewhere. York on Nicell. On a mild summer's evening at the York Community Stadium, York City fans were able to pay tribute to stalwart Callum Nicell. Stalwart makes it sound like he's been playing for the last 4 years. Transfer deadline days in a couple of days. I really shouldn't have clicked through there. Well, there we have it. The players have returned to their clubs now. And we can finally let Callum Nicell go permanently, if he so desires. I might loan him out for this season and let him go on a free at the end. I don't know. We'll find out. But Nicell has been honoured. That was a bare minimum. We might get another one before this series is out. Shaunan, of course, been here almost as long. Still only 26 though, so I have no idea when his will trigger. It took Callum Nicell 31 years of age before he got one. But if it's the same amount of time spent, 2 more years, Shaunan might get one at the age of 28, bafflingly. We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. But he actually wasn't 18. If I said he was 18 when he joined, I don't think he actually was. If he's 31 now, that doesn't add up. But anyway, that's a minor point. We'll just leave it on this page, revel in those stats from bygone years. Until next time, we'll try and justify some of the people that are missing from today's episode. Yeah, playing a testimonial before you've gone through transfers, maybe not the best idea, but until then, ta-ra.